Ayo, who made this? Ammo 7 did it again.
Hello and welcome to Big Eagle Podcast. My name is Angelique and it's just me today.
It's a different one, just one person today.
It's just me.
So Angelique, we're gonna talk about life as a single woman.
As a single woman.
Because people tend to think that single women, after being in a long-term relationship, are just unhappy, are bitter. But you're here to kind of change the narrative on that.
Yes.
Talk to us.
Definitely. Do you know what? I think I've been single for 2 years. Down the long haul, I just don't see myself being in a relationship with someone. I've had a few pretty good, financial, mentally stable, I have children options, but I just don't want them because I just think you're holding me back from being free. I just want to be free. I don't want somebody to wait for me. I don't want someone to say, I tried to give you a phone call, you didn't pick up. I don't even want that lifestyle. But to be single, you have to want to be single. You have to be ready to be single. And at this stage in life, I am loving myself. I found out so many things about myself that I did not know years ago. I know it takes time to eventually, even when we die, we won't know our full selves, but I found out that I'm a jealous person. All this time being in a relationship, I thought I wasn't jealous, that everyone else was the problem. But the way I handle my jealousy, it's not so clear. That's why it was so hard for me to see it. But as I came out of it, 2 years now, I said, okay, I'm going to take this jealousy in. I'm going to embrace it because that's who I am. But my jealousy is not bitter. I don't go around fighting girls. I don't fight guys. I just have this little 10%.
But isn't everyone jealous if they're in a relationship? You're a little bit jealous. Why didn't you think that you was jealous while you was in a relationship?
Do you know what? Being in a relationship, loving someone, say I love you, that's when I'm jealous. But if I don't use that word on you, not even 1% of me cares. There's no jealousy. You can bring 10,000 girls in the same room and I'll be encouraging you to do your shit and I'll be laughing and I'll be with you. I'll even be getting the numbers for you if I don't love you. But when I love you, I take that shit hard.
I mean, you was in a relationship for how long?
I was in a relationship for 10 years, my first 10 years.
And you was married?
Yeah, I was married for 6.
You're married for 6 years?
I'm still married.
And you're still married?
I'm still married, yeah.
I mean, let's go back to the beginning. How did you guys meet and you got married? That's an amazing thing. That every woman, every man wants to find that companionship. So you found that person. How did it come about? And how did you feel at the time?
Yeah, so we met, they say you can't really meet your partner in the club, but you're going to meet your partner in your surroundings, mate. So that's where we met in a bar. I know he was not after me. He was after someone else. But my intention was not to be with him. It was just that he bought drinks for me and these other girls. And I just went back to say thank you for the drink. That was it. Because
how did you know he wasn't after you? Did he make his intention known that he was trying to check for other girls?
I just felt like down the line I found out that he wasn't, because I found out from these girls that, he's tried to hit on one of them before. But I just felt like he wasn't, there was just something that didn't feel like, when you buy a drink for a friend because you're trying to get to that friend, I felt like it was that kind of vibe, but all of that got brushed away once we started communicating at that time. When I said thank you for the drink, which he didn't expect, and then we started dancing and communicating. But, my husband was a bit of at that time.
So it went from dancing to a marriage. How long was that process?
That was a year and a half.
So you guys got married 18 months after meeting?
No, a year and a half I got pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I got pregnant. We went through a lot with that. And then we got married on my second child, on our second child, because we didn't want to have a child outside of this marriage again. So we then got married, and we're still. But I don't think it's the ring though, in my mind, because I had the ring. He never had the ring, but it was the connection that was married. Like we was together. Apart from the.
What do you mean he didn't have the ring? He never used to wear his ring.
No, he never got one.
Is that not a red flag?
Huh?
Was that not a red flag?
No, that was never a red flag for me. Because what would have been a red flag for me was his mental state. If he didn't want to be married, if he didn't want to be with me. But everyone around our circle, everyone knew we was married. Everyone knew we was together. But I think if you want to show the world, society, oh, look, I've got a ring, you can't approach me. I'm the one who wanted the ring. I'm the one who said, oh, this is pretty. And how it happened, it wasn't even planned. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to have a grand wedding, a big dress. And all. I didn't even have a grand wedding. We just went straight to the, what is that place?
Registry office.
Down the corner.
Registry office?
Yeah, registry office. Just signed. I was pregnant at that time, got any dress. It wasn't even white, it was purple. I did what I wanted to do for me. And we got married. And I don't really like attention on me, like a group of people watching me walk down an aisle. I've never really been into that, like that. So we got married and we went to a restaurant with family and friends, just a few of us. And it was great. We had a great time.
And that marriage bore how many children?
3 great
Three
kids.
children. So
yeah.
10 years in to
Yeah.
the marriage.
But you know what? I think to myself, even if I have to have more children now,
You'd go back there.
I'll go back there.
Yeah.
I just want them all from one guy. All them from just... I've calculated this too well to just be,
I mean, we're going to go back into that. But
yeah.
after 10 years of marriage, what went wrong?
I was in denial. I thought I could change a man. I thought down the line he might love what he has. Because when you go to church, right?
Yeah.
They teach you just keep loving, keep showing love. Love, eventually the person will see it. But love doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the pity party of the household.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean everyone has to just keep crying over you and saying, oh, she's suffering. Love also means discipline.
Yeah.
So I feel like now I really love myself. I don't think I loved myself at that time because I was putting on, I put on weight because of the kids, but I wasn't healthy mentally. I wasn't, and I was changing. When I started changing was the last year of our relationship. I then started thinking I'm gonna cheat on him, and I'm gonna cheat on him. The only reason for that, I've never done it. The only reason I'm gonna cheat on him is so that I want him to see how much it hurts, the amount of times he goes missing and does all this stuff. I just want him to feel that pain.
Going missing in the relation. I mean, you can go missing when you're kind of getting to know someone. You go ghost, whatever.
Yeah.
But within a marriage, how does one go about going missing?
Yeah, it depends the kind of career you have. So if your career involves, he's self-employed, if it involves you traveling a lot, you could say I'm traveling on Saturday. So I'm traveling on Saturday, but really and truly you're traveling on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you go Saturday morning, don't pick up your phone, come home on, the time you're meant to come back home. But me being the wife that gives the husband freedom, which everyone should have, so you've got the table to be yourself, that got taken advantage of.
And how did you find out he was out there?
I've found out through so many ways. I found a lot of, if you're spiritual, if you're a Christian, whatever religion you believe in communicating with the Most High. And a lot of messages will be thrown in your face, but you can decide whether you want to take them. So a lot of, sometimes I'll sit in the car and there'll be a phone that I've passed over and said, I don't want this phone anymore. And that phone, something will come up on that screen. When I take that phone to go and give it back to him, something will come on the screen. It could be a message. I've seen pictures.
But how did you go through the phone?
Yeah, the picture one, I did go through the phone. I was curious, but when I went through the phone and saw what I knew I would see, I didn't confront him about it because to me, I just thought give it time. Eventually he'll change.
I mean, how do you even do that? Where you've seen...
I've even seen receipts of lingerie.
Him buying lingerie?
No, it was an Ann Summers receipt. I don't wear Ann Summers.
Okay. But I'm trying to say, like, you saw these things. How do you go about your day as normal? Like, oh yeah, hi babe, like, and not say anything.
Yeah, it was really hard. So what I would do is just think about all the good, because the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
Let's just be realistic. There's no one, I've said this to so many women, there's no man you're going to pick on this earth, or no woman you're going to pick where you can handle that flaw. The flaw will be so much that it would make you want to leave, because no one's perfect, but you have to then decide which one wins, and the one that wins with him is always the good. The good, he's just, his heart is for everyone. It's just amazing, and it's for me first. The cheating part, people can say, oh, you know, if he loved you, I don't really give a damn what you think, because you never paid our tax during the time it needed to be paid. But every decision I made when it came to me and him, it was made because of the love he had for the kids, the love he had for the kids before our kids, the love he has for me especially. Oh my God, this man would jump over. Like, I've been in a position where I've been financially stuck. Yeah. Even if we're married, I'm an independent person, so I'm not going to say to you, I'm struggling. But he would secretly, something would happen financially, and I'm like, did someone tell him? No, because he went through my documents, found out that money was needed, and paid that directly without me even knowing.
Was that compensate him making himself feel good about himself to compensate for?
No, because at those times things were just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, you know, sometimes I even got to the point where I felt like he would treat me so good when he knew it was time for him to go and have a good time.
So it was planned?
No, I feel like he would gift me with something. That's all in my head, though.
Yeah.
It might have always been that way, but that was in my head. So I felt like he would gift me with something and then go missing, and then that something would entertain me for the whole weekend. So if I've been given like $4,000 to go shopping, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna blast, like on the weekend I'm just gonna have a blast, and then I don't even pick up the phone to call him because I'm thinking he's just out there. You know, that's in my head.
Did you have low self-esteem?
Yes.
Why did you say that?
I had low self-esteem because before I met him, I was very confident. And then eventually after time, because a man that cheats will take his insecurity and slowly, like, feed it to you.
What do you think he was insecure about?
It was like a teaspoon every day. So my clothing, my dress code was changing. I just wasn't dressing like before. And I started looking at myself physically a lot. And I started to notice that I wasn't as good looking as I thought I was, you know, because of the amount of stuff that was being fed. And I know it wasn't personal attack because he was doing it before me, but it's the way his mental state was to even look outside. I was feeding off it, which was not good, because when I'm feeding off it, I give it back to him. And then he's then insecure even more than he was.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, you know, when you're in school, right, and somebody makes fun of you, you ignore it. But after time, you then defend yourself, so you start making fun of them. So you're just both going back and forth making fun of each other. But when you're both away, you then look at each other and say, oh, did she mean what she said? Do I really look this way? Did he mean what? So it was just messing up. And the arguments were just getting worse and worse because I was changing. Because I couldn't tolerate it anymore. So I was starting to get louder and more dangerous. You know, I wasn't
what's
calm.
dangerous?
Dangerous. I was physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't calm like before. I think that when the kids came, I became more sensitive and more physical. When your hormones get involved, a lot more sensitive. But, you know, it's an emotional moment. But, you know, they say relationships, you go through thick and thin. I couldn't take that thick. That thick was a lot. Like, it came with a lot. It was making my mum depressed. The kids didn't notice it because I'm very good at having a poker face. But it did a lot. And do you know what makes me sad for him is that he sees it now, and men don't cry, but he cried. Like, it's really sad to watch him say, I'm really sorry. And I believe he means it now, but it's too late.
I mean, we're going to get to why it's too late, but in the end, like you said, you know what, I've had enough, I'm filing for divorce. How did he take it originally?
He didn't take it well.
He didn't see it coming?
No, he didn't see it coming, because this is the woman who's very loyal, who's always by his side, who is teamwork. You know, like when you marry someone and this person is building a business, understand that the woman who's at home, when he gets home, he sits down with her and has a conversation about this business, and they brainstorm how to develop this business and how to make it come together, because the man would not always have it all there, because either someone in the office is going to annoy him, or something's always going to say, do you know what, I need to find, do you think I should do this, or am I exaggerating? That stuff is like key, it's magic. And when you help your man, when you're the right woman, and you help him with those decisions, it just takes the business high. Everyone gets more money. Everyone gains from it. But when it was time for me to leave, and he was not ready, he thought it would just be a break, but then it took the dumbest thing, the smallest thing, which wasn't even cheating, that made me leave, because cheating comes with disrespect.
What was it?
It was just, there was a time where we got in I felt that we should be one, even if we're trying to be one, we should be. So a decision was made for him to go out somewhere, and he was going without me. He couldn't go with me anyway, because the kids were home. But it would be nice for you to like say, let's go together. Yeah. But the fact that he said, you don't need to go there. You don't need to, because the person does not like you. In my mind, I think if somebody doesn't like me, they don't like you. Why are you going? Yeah. They don't like us. It's not that they don't like us. So you shouldn't be going either. But that mental state made me feel like we're going to be at this place for a long time, because we've been at this place many times before, and it's never going to change. And during that time, it was intense. And I just said, I can't do it. I remember I was far away at that time. I was at my mum's for the weekend, and we was on the phone, and I was like, no, I'm done. Like, I can't do it. So I've never said I'm done. I usually just go and have a break at my mum's and come back and we fix it. But that was the first and last time I said I was done. And I was just done.
And it's been 2 years of separation.
Yeah.
And what society will say, oh my God, you must be unhappy. You're a single mother.
I am not unhappy with that guy.
So you're single mother, 3 kids. Oh my God, no one's gonna love you and blah blah blah. But you're like, no, I'm having the best time of my life. I mean, talk us through single life and why it's so amazing right now.
Single life is amazing, because the greatest thing with my ex is he will always want me back. Who knows? I'm talking like this now, and then in 4 years down the line, like, we're together and we're still together.
How do you feel about him moving on and doing what he's doing? You don't care?
I really don't care. I even think the girls that he's picking just to have fun, they're gorgeous.
So you're seeing them?
I haven't seen them in person. I've seen.
So you're still kind of checking out socials and looking?
No, not at all. He doesn't have that, because his one is more business. But he's shown me.
Oh, he's showing you?
Yeah,
why do you think
because we have a strong communication. I've shown him my texts. Like, you know, we could talk about something.
But what's the purpose of you guys showing each other? Are you guys trying to
No, we've always had that relationship. Like, before we got together to be in a relationship, it was always open. Everything was always open. You know, a joke is more funny when you actually show a person a text message, or if he describes a female to me and he describes it and I'm like, you sure she's pretty? She sounds like she's got one eye, as a joke. And I'll be like, no, you need to see. And I'm like, you're doing so well. Just doing so well.
No part of you feels a little bit like,
No, not at all, mate.
And
maybe I don't feel that way because I just think to myself, no one's taken him away from me. I just feel like no one's doing anything malicious to hurt me.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's why I don't feel that way. But I would always want what's best for this person. Like, it's not because we've had, you know, we have children in common, or we're we're sexually connected, or we're spiritually connected. I just, like, people need to learn the meaning of love and stop using it lightly.
I mean, one of the things, 'cause a couple of people mentioned when we done a clip with you last time, they said, yeah, she needs to stop calling him her husband still. She needs to move on from that. I mean, how did you feel about those comments?
Yeah, I should stop calling him my husband, but I'll do that once we're divorced.
Yeah.
We're not divorced yet, so he's still my husband. Okay. So whoever comes in now, you know, if anything happens to him, all those grands that he has locked up, they come to me. He's still my husband, and he's the one he doesn't want to sign his part. He still wants to take time and see how it goes. I think it's good that he wants to take time, because I'm not even looking for anything out there, but I don't want to go back to where I came from. Like,
but you're out. The reason why, because you said you've been outside, and outside seems
outside is lovely. There's so much idiots outside.
I mean, talk to us. What's going on outside?
There's nothing happening outside. All the guys are either broke and they want to live off you, struggling, hustling. I think, you know, I accept their hustles because everyone comes from a different background. But I don't want to be no one's bank account just because I'm living okay. You know, I've realised that...
But is that guys want to be in a relationship, or guys are just dating and seeing and having fun with?
I study a person.
Yeah,
I'm just playing. I'm playing. It's not everyone that I meet is broke. There's people as well that are in a good position, but they are ready to put their hearts out there. And I just think, if I take your heart right now, I'm recovering and I'm going to smash yours. So don't come to me. Like, I'm not in the mood to fall for anyone. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say I love you. I would say it to please you, but I'll be outside, mate. I'm at that outside stage because I've got my 3 kids, my ex who loves me no matter what, and I don't care what anyone else thinks, my mum, my brothers. I'm good. Like, I'm happy. This is me being satisfied. So when I go outside, I'm not looking for love, because I've got many people that can show me that. When I'm going outside, I'm just looking for a good dicking.
Just like that.
Just a good dicking and a good tongue as well. Actually, do you know what? Fuck that. Tongue first. And then we can talk about, you know, your dicking after, but not necessarily just tongue first.
mean, would you say, some people say, you know what, it's still a sense of insecurity?
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. I think if you're insecure, it's fine. Like, all these things, we need to stop, like, making it seem like it's a bad thing. Like, it's all demonic, you're insecure, you're so bad. Yeah, we have times when we're insecure, and we have times when we're very secure. But it's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with what people think, because that's your freaking opinion. What you're going to do with that opinion is put it in a box, take it home, shake it, and put it up your ass. I just don't give a shit, because that belongs to you. What I believe, for me, is when I go outside and I get what I want, you know, safe and sound, everyone's happy, obviously someone that I would be interested in, I go home and I'm chilling in my living room, watching Netflix, my kids are asleep, sometimes I get a call from my mum, and then if not that, I'm working, it's just good. Like, life is sweet because I want it that way. I've never sat down and thought, oh, my friend's in a relationship now, I can't go out with her. No, I think next friend, because I need to find a friend who can go out, because she's all loved up. Done. I don't get jealous of no one, neither.
How long can this lifestyle last? Because you're now...
Yeah, 38.
So
yeah,
how long can it last?
I think I'm just taking it as it comes. Maybe I need to get it out my system, because, you know, like, when you finish, and then you need to, out of a relationship, and you need to recover. Maybe my recovery is a lot, my recovery is a lot longer than anyone else's, or shorter. But right now, I'm enjoying this moment. If by next year all this disappears, then it does.
Do you ever fear being lonely?
No, I've never sat down and thought I'd be alone. But you know what I have thought of? I've sat down and I've thought about all these women that are being controlled at home. Because that's what I experienced.
So right now, if you look at the last 10 years of marriage compared to the last 2 years of a singleton, which was your most happiest moments?
My happiest moments, I wish I could mix them because I don't want to pick one.
If you had to pick one,
I'll take now.
you take now.
Yeah, I'll take now because I'm not lost, I'm found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely take now because, damn, imagine being with someone and like women have this behavior of nurturing, right? So they will always put a man first. They will always, a lot of females would brush their career because, they got pregnant. And there's not only so much they can do. Some have planned to be journalists, to travel, you know, to not just sit in one place. But once you get pregnant, you put that in the back, you put your baby first, you put your husband next to the baby, and you've forgotten your career. It's all in the back. And then now you have to find a business like you can do from home because you need to put your family first. Fucked up, mate. Done.
So
like
now,
then
so
you
now
have
you
to
put
manage.
yourself first.
Yeah. So now I put myself first. I feel like having more independence, working for myself. You know, obviously I don't work for no one. That's made me have an ego. That I had an ego before, but it's worse now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about like when you're in later life, as time progresses, kids get older, you no longer have to look after them, and it comes to a point that we're 50, 60, 65, whatever it is, and it's just you.
I think I'll just deal with what I've done.
Yeah.
What I've done, but I remember seeing on social media this lady who's been with her husband, and she's 80 something, and they're very old, and I don't know if the age is right, but she's very old and he's very old, and he's been cheating on her for 40 years.
Wow.
And then she decided to leave him. And I had a conversation with my friend's mother recently, who's also in her she's 69. And she said she's in a position to really want to leave her husband. She can't take it anymore. 69. I don't think you can predict what the future holds, but if you think to yourself that having someone stops you from being lonely, then I think you kind of have to look at yourself, because the majority of the time I'm spiritually talking. There's more to this planet than us, so I'm always talking.
Do you think do you think sort of monogamous relationship are things that are not natural then?
What's monogamous? Is that what more than?
No, one person. With one person. You think it's not natural to human beings? Because if you look at the Bible and things like that, from your King David to your Solomons to your Abrahams, they all had multiple wives and so on. So do you think that Western society has changed people's mindset, and that's why you get so many people having affairs or cheating, because it's not something that's meant to be natural to them? If you look at the animal kingdom per se, the lion has the harem. So do you think that's what it is? No,
I honestly don't, because I think without the Western society, during the time that now family members and like ancestors were having more than one wife, there would have been a wife in there who didn't want more. She just wanted to be the only wife. Because as we all know it, when we own something, we want that something to just belong to us. It's not because we're women that we have to share in the man. Because I would think to myself, if the woman was to have 3 husbands, and her husband could have 3 women, get it. But when it's certain religions and only the man gets to have so many virgins, I then start to think, what would happen if your woman wanted 3 husbands? You want her all to yourself, just like she would want you all to herself. But I guess they've adapted. At the back of my mind, sometimes I used to think that I could maybe tolerate another woman, but how do I know another woman would be able to tolerate me? I don't think no one wants to share. I just think some people just have to, because they think if I share him now with someone I know, it's safer and it's cleaner. but he could still go outside and cheat on you both, because the point of cheating is he ain't telling both of you. So he can have 10 wives and still go and cheat. Why? Because the hunger, the feeling that, oh, she doesn't know. I just slept with the receptionist. Oh, she has no clue. That feeling could be a drive. I'm not just talking for men. I could also be talking from a woman's perspective.
What's the best thing about being single?
The best part about being single is, I can't put a title on it, but you have to want it. Because what you want actually happens in being single. So if you want to build a career and focus on your career, I don't know why people think being in a relationship doesn't help them build it, but if you want to do that, you focus on that and you will be so happy. If you want to just have a good time, go out all the time, you will be so happy, because it's not everyone that goes out that wants to come back home with dick.
So, I mean, if you were to start your life again and you still have your 3 children, right? So your children are not going away, but you can still have your 3 children, but you can choose a life of being single all the time, or of had the experience of still being married. What would you have chosen?
If I had to start my life again, I can't have both, no. Okay, I think I would like to have the 3 kids and live this life.
Single life.
Yeah, live this life, because this life makes me happy, and everybody wants to see everyone happy, and this is it. But I've realized, being who I am, not everybody is the way I am. There's only I've met some weird people, but I've only met another guy who's similar to me, mind-wise, because I've realized with women having some female friends, they say to you, "Oh, I love the single life." But then they show behavior of they are lonely. And I've met women who behave like, you know, having a good time, busting it open all the time. But they look like they're trying to keep that person that they're busting it open to. So you want a relationship. You don't want to bust it open, really. Like, so everyone's a bit... I know exactly what I want.
And what is it that you want?
If I'm having fun with you, if I say to you, the only person I'm going to fall in love with is my husband, you clearly know whatever you're coming into, we're not going to fall in love. And I'm going to make sure we don't fall in love. So I'm going to show you affection. I will cook for you. I will make you think we are in a relationship.
But why would you do that?
Because I just enjoy good time. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with you and I sleeping together and me coming to your house and cooking for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with us having a good time and me calling you and saying, "Oh shit, you won't believe it. I'm stuck on the highway. Do you have something to jumpstart my car?" And you coming out and looking out for me, right? We're sleeping together. We're not enemies.
But does that not go into territory of relationships?
You can take it wherever you want it, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who has a match like mine, who thinks, I don't want a girlfriend, but I want someone to care for me. I want someone to show me affection. You know, I want someone to sit down with me and communicate with me. Like, we grow, but we're not together.
What would you encourage, knowing that, I guess, what you're saying now, but what would you encourage for the younger girls out there?
Younger girls
now?
No.
What would you tell them in terms of relationship, that it's not a good idea, or is it depends on just different experiences?
My 21-year-old's been with her partner for years. They live together now. Okay, they are very happy. There's times they don't get on. I encourage her relationship, but I encourage her confidence, her independence first, because when you're at that peak, 21, that age is young, because your mental state is just love, 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 and you forget yourself. And that doesn't change when you're married. You forget yourself. So the most important thing that we have to drain into young girls is independence. And the most key thing is to stop listening to these American girls, because the time they were wearing bikini tops to go clubbing, we were wearing tops. Right, so the mental state is 2 different things. I know a lot of them listen to these soundtracks and are saying, you know, where my bag at, where my bag at. There's no bag. In England, we don't believe in that. We believe in going to the park, having a good time, laughing with each other, and going home and seeing if we're going to get it together. I don't know where all this money thing came in, but, you know, our parents never drained us into that until your parents are like proper African parents and all they're focused on is he a doctor? What does he do? Not really financially, they just want a stable home. So young girls, I just say to you, focus on how important you are for yourself. Do for yourself what you want others to do for you. Then that way you don't have to worry about another man's bag. You don't have to put charge on. I've never charged my vagina. That's weird. If I want to bang you, I want to bang you. I'm not going to put a price on my vagina. It's not right. Prostitutes are professionals. They have their reasons. Don't choose that kind of career, but it's up to you, mate. Do your thing. But focus on you first, and that's career-wise. Don't lose yourself with love, man.
Well, guys, that's Angelique. She told
That's
you
me.
why she's still happy being single, and that single women out there are having lots of fun, and
I am.
happy. Cut.